I think I'm a person of like, I want the extreme feeling to where the hot, and with me looking at more studies, more antidote studies, but studies on drinking things of hot temperature and how that just like works in your system differently. I do notice coffee that is hot, I do get a different sort of ignited feeling than I do with cold coffee. The iced coffee doesn't like give me the zing as much.
Weird.
So then with the hot coffee, now I'm like, okay, now I'm not getting, or when it gets room temp, I feel like, well, I'm not getting the full benefit that I could with the hot coffee. But then if it's room temp and not ice, it's like, well, now it's just not as enjoyable as it could be.
Well, and you were seeing stuff with like warm beverages and warm meals and stuff like that, like kind of easing your gut and stomach stuff too. So
Breakfast
I think
soup.
for people that are maybe having some gut issues too, like you may really like your iced coffee or your cold salads or all your cold meals, but doing more warm beverages might be a little bit better. There was something, which I don't know if there's truth to it. I remember hearing this a long time ago, but that like when you're drinking water, if it's super cold, your body has to bring it to room temperature
Right.
to then, you know, whatever, digest it and process it and stuff. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but it was something of like, if you want to hydrate faster, have more room temperature water. That I wonder if the same is true. I wonder if that's true, but I wonder if the same is true for even your meals and stuff too. If when you're digesting it, it just is a little bit more difficult when it's cold. That if you're having all those gut issues and that sort of thing, like you could maybe try having more warm food, soups and just like warm meals and more warm drinks.
I don't remember what his title was, but there was a doctor on Him and Her that talked about that. It's like you mostly see female that have the gut issues and the bloating and the digestive problems. And what do they all eat? They don't eat a lot of protein. They eat cold smoothies and salads and like things that are just, I think, promoted as girly foods.
Sure.
That
tend to be cold.
What that does to your system is it doesn't like relax it and warm it up, to where females, what they have studied, at least with our hormone levels, like we are ramped naturally a little bit more. I don't know if that's natural as in it's just a female thing, or if it's just in our society now we typically allow ourselves to be more ramped. But they said they'll find cortisol levels will typically be higher in women, and like across the board, not even if something happens, like they just stay regulated there. And our stress hormones are pumping more. That the food, if we're eating all this cold, keeping our bodies like also like this, and why they also said some females won't benefit. They will still get the benefits that men do with the cold plunges and the cold temperature stuff. Like their physical, you'll get the benefits, your cells will get the benefits, but the hormone release might be a little bit different, because we just see that as like, it's a stress, to where if you can regulate, then it's awesome. But if you're already at stress, it's like, don't bring it up. Like you have to be able to bring it down as well. You're only going up and up and up and up.
Well, and that's the thing with exercise, with sauna, with cold plunges. Anytime you're kind of pushing yourself and going past your normal thresholds that you are at, you're getting the benefit of doing that, but it's only so beneficial if you're able to bring all that back down. You know, it's like if you were to sit in a sauna your whole life, obviously you're going to be stressed out all the time. But the point is, you do the sauna for 20 minutes or whatever, you come out, and then your body's able to regulate and cool down. And that's also, you do the sauna, you stress yourself out. You do the workout, you stress yourself out. You need to then go to something that's non-stressful and relaxing. Then you're getting the benefits of that. If you go like, you know, I think this is kind of the knock on working out right away in the morning, like before work or whatever, is it's great because it helps you wake up and that sort of thing. But then if you go to a stressful job, or if your job is something that is one of your stressors, you're kind of just keeping that like high cortisol, stressed out state the rest of the day, and you're not getting that relaxing coming down, and then that just added on top of each other. It's like if you don't get enough sleep, just over and over and over again, that's going to add up and be worse and worse and worse, and your body's going to start to get weirder and weirder. That you need that like come back down part of it. Same with the cold plunge. People are doing cold plunges in the morning all the time. But then are you not having that comeback of chill out, relax, whatever, come back to your neutral or even past like real relaxed state? You have to have that. Like that's the recovery part of it, or that's the really maximizing the benefits of what you just did and really minimizing the negatives, because you could just be constantly stressing yourself out, especially if you have the personality of, if I want to be more successful or get more out of what I'm doing, I'm just going to do more and push more. That's going to have diminishing returns if you're never able to have that relaxation part of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what he was kind of talking about with the food, is eating is a stress on your body. So if you're eating things, and it's simply, it's not, I don't think it's necessarily the temperature, but it's what those foods typically are. Those are harder to break down for your body. So you say you take a salad and it's all raw food. That's going to take more energy and effort for your body to break it down versus something warm that's typically cooked and it's softer and it's easier for your body to digest, and then the nutrients gets in there quicker. My gut never, I mean, it just felt awesome. Not since this past week, but before that, I was feeling awesome, and I was doing soup in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I started my day with soup, and I put eggs in. It was just broth and eggs. So I was getting a shit ton of protein because I was able to do more eggs because I liked it that way versus me just cooking eggs. I could do one or two more than I usually would do. So, and then on top of having the bone broth, which also has protein in it. So it's like, I'm getting the protein that I need, and it was soothing and it was warm. It's just like, think of a cold day and you get soup. It just like feels cozy. I was starting my day with cozy.
Yeah.
Versus hard fruits, vegetables, smoothies that are cold, icy on my system and harder to break down. That stress just gets amplified. That I was talking to a mom at the studio, and she is like melting away. She just had
in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. She, I don't know, last Christmas, she had a baby. And we've only seen her either directly postpartum or pregnant since we've moved here. So we haven't seen like what is her natural maintenance state. And I was like, you look awesome. She's like, I'm not doing anything. She's like, I'm eating what we normally were eating and I'm exercising, but she's like, I feel like I held on to the weight from the last one because that was also when they found out that one of their kids had eye cancer. And she's like, I think it was just the cortisol. Like I was in such high stress that my body was holding on to the weight that now she's like, I'm doing the same things that I was doing after the last kid. Nothing's different. I didn't have a different gender, because I know sometimes people say that's a difference. She's like, I'm doing nothing different. I am just less stressed. And she's like, and it's just falling off of me.
Yeah. It's crazy how your body does that with stress specifically. And that's why it's...
Because your body doesn't know the difference of stress because there's no food in your environment, or you're getting attacked by an animal, or it's regular society stuff now.
Yeah. And that's what's so difficult about trying to figure that out. I think that's why it takes so much time and so much effort and analyzing to how do I get this away, or what is it that's really stressing me out? And sometimes you don't even realize it or don't get what's going on until you get rid of that thing, and then you look back and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that was what was stressing me out.